Hello everybody, it's Peter Bird here from Optimal Nutritional Excellence. Really nice to see you. What I want to talk to you today about is the winner's mindset. The winner's mindset is characterized by several key traits. Now, when we're talking about a winner's mindset, we're not talking about an athlete or a high-powered business person or someone that's achieving really highly that we may read about or know, or that we see kind of on the cover of a magazine. What I'm talking about is that if we want to achieve anything substantial in our life, anything meaningful, if we want to create a change, if where we are isn't the place we want to be, and we want to move from that place, and we want that move to be positive, to be meaningful, to be better than where we were, and above all, to be sustainable, there's some key elements in that. And as you know, I'm an advocate of the whole food plant-based lifestyle. I have people that come to me who are often unwell. They will come to me with wanting to change, wanting something better, but unsure how to do that. And what I do is we introduce a whole food plant-based lifestyle, but to do that and to do that successfully, we have to have a scaffolding around that. We have to have a support around that person that they need to adopt for successful change. So this has been well and truly researched. It's not something that has been invented yesterday or it's sort of haphazardly put together. We know what makes for successful change. Now, it requires a few things, and I'm going to go through what those cornerstones are. They are critical for not only a sustained change, but for a change that can be implemented by anybody. What I identify with is change can take place really quickly. There's some event happens in our life. We have to adapt to it, or we'll get overcome by it. So that could be that we lose our job, that we could lose a loved one, that we could become sick, that we could end up in a situation where everything we thought was secure in our life, we lost. It might be the ending of a relationship that we didn't choose to end that relationship. It might be that we have some sort of health issue that has been diagnosed and is limiting our ability to do what we're doing. The cornerstones that I'm about to talk about, any one of us can have that winner's mindset, which then you're able to maximize your ability to make positive change in your life. So what are those cornerstones? The first one I'm going to mention is talked about quite a bit really, and it's resilience. Now, what does resilience mean? Well, resilience, the word, it means the ability to bounce back. It means to be able to look at a situation that is stressful or that has been forced upon us, or maybe we are in a situation like with adopting a whole food plant-based lifestyle that we want change and we know and recognize that change needs to take place. We're not getting forced to do it by anything external, but we're overweight or we have a health condition or we just want the optimum health for our bodies. So we are here to look for change. So resilience is one of seeing opportunities for learning as opposed to looking at something and seeing it as a burden, something stressful, something that has to be achieved though I don't particularly want to. So it's that ability to see events as a learning opportunity, to see that, okay, this is what my life has been confronted with. I am making this decision to move in this direction of my life, and it's a fantastic opportunity for personal growth, to improve me as a human being. It's an adventure, to have that mindset. And it's interesting to listen to the self-chatter behind that, because often the self-chatter is, we've all got that little debating society in our head. We've all got that kind of part of us that will either be reinforcing and positive, or that will be detrimental and destructive. Those voices that say you're not good enough, that we couldn't possibly do this, that no one's going to like us, that we're going to be judged, that this isn't going to work. And words are incredibly powerful. So when you hear that self-talk, it's important to take note of what the language is. So is the language positive? Is it one of resilience? Is it looking at these opportunities in your life as a learning opportunity? Taking notice. And we have the ability to change our thinking and change our action. I talked a wee while ago when I did a little clip on the fuckets, and I talked about how we feel, think, and then act, and how often we haven't got control over our feelings. We might not have control over that initial thought, but we do have control over the action we take. When we're talking about resilience, it's that ability to bounce back from situations, to look at situations as a learning goal. It might not be that initial feeling, it might not be the self-chatter or the chatter and the talking in the head, that voice we all have. You have the ability to undertake a different action to what your thinking is telling you, or what your thoughts are, or what that voice is. And you have the ability to start changing the narrative, changing that voice. The second thing is focus. So being able to focus on and know what the goal is. How can we achieve and implement a positive change if we don't know what the goal is for where we want to arrive, what we're trying to achieve? So having a clear goal, being very clear about that, and then implementing the positive actions that are practical actions and positive actions that are required to make that goal materialize. So in regards to adopting a whole food, plant-based lifestyle, that's taking control of your kitchen. Physically ensuring that what you're bringing into the kitchen are healthy foods, they're whole foods, you're not bringing in the animal protein and the ultra processed foods, and looking at what's in your pantry and your freezer and making sure that aligns with your goals. The next thing is, and it's really important, is what we call perseverance. It's like the English bulldog. It's that ability to hold on and breathe. It's that ability to be able to just keep going, never giving up. That throwaway term of positive attitude. We've got to have a positive attitude. Well, it's really easy to say that, isn't it? Perseverance and resilience are two powerful words. It doesn't mean that you may have that as perfected, but it means that you're able to take a step back, listen to the chatter, have a look around at things that you can do, because there'll always be something that you can do. There'll always be actions you can take, someone you can talk to. There will always be something you can do. And if there isn't, if you've done everything you can possibly do, then that's where perseverance, that hanging on and breathing, because things do pass. It's one thing I've learned in my life. Situations do pass. So perseverance, never giving up, having that positive attitude, having that attitude that this is a learning opportunity, that I'm listening to my thoughts, I'm not a victim to my emotions or my thinking, that I can actually have a different action. And the third thing is what we call self-confidence. Now, self-confidence, again, it can be a fleeting commodity at times. We can find that having the confidence in ourselves in certain areas that we're familiar with, that may be there, but when we enter into a new area, maybe the self-confidence can be a little bit shaky. And so that's where having a degree of self-belief, knowing that I can look back on my life, and we all can do this. None of us are failures. We can look back on our life and we can see situations that have been adverse, or that where we've made a decision that we want to make some change, and we can all see how times in our life where we've made that change and we've had to persevere, we've had to hold on and hang in, even if it was forced upon us, that we actually survived that. And when we look back, we can see it as a defining moment in our lives. It may not have been a comfortable situation, and often aren't, but it was a time where we were confronted with ourselves, that we had to just hold on and hang in. And we did that, and we got through, and we were able to reflect and grow, and we can look back on that and see it as a positive outcomes from it, or silver linings to that dark event or that stressful event. Self-confidence, that's having a degree of self-belief in your abilities. That'll generally be based on previous experience. And the fourth one is having a growth mindset, embracing learning, not having that fearfulness about moving into a new area or adopting something new. Again, being mindful of your thinking, being mindful of the words, the language that you are using. Words are incredibly powerful. The reality might be that it's going to be hard, but the self-language can always be changed. What I'm saying is our brain doesn't see the world. It only knows the information that it's gaining. So if the language is one of doubt, unclear goals, or the mindset of someone that is not positive about the change that's taking place, and that's the self-language, then the brain sees it that way, and that'll be the action, that'll be the reality. One thing I know for sure, that whatever we focus on becomes a reality. So if we focus on negativity, self-doubt, that everything's going to break and things aren't going to work out, then that'll be the reality of our life. And if we're able to adopt and change our self-talk, change our actions even on a small way each day, then we will find that there will be positive change in our life. I know that for myself. So having a growth mindset, embracing learning, not to see that event and this opportunity as negative and stressful. See it as a situation that is positive. The learning is something that is going to give to me. And so that might not be the feeling, but if we have the self-talk of that and our actions reply and respond in that way, then it's very similar to the situation where we don't want to go to the gym. It's really cold outside. It's hard work. I'm not motivated, but while we've got that self-talk, we're getting in the vehicle or getting on the bike, or we're getting to the gym, and we actually do what we know is beneficial to us, even though we don't feel it or think it. That's kind of what I'm saying there. So act as if is often something or a phrase that I think is quite valuable. Act as if, even though maybe your thinking is saying something different. And as you act as if, you're pushing yourself in that direction, then you'll find that the reality starts developing itself in that regard. Hope that's understandable. Now, the fifth cornerstone of positive change is discipline. Hey, it's not a particularly nice word, is it? You may have all different connotations on discipline. My concept of discipline today means different things than it was when I was a kid. I'll tell you that right now. Discipline was meted out by my father in a pretty brutal way. And so today I have a totally different viewpoint on discipline. I have a positive viewpoint on discipline. Discipline for me is knowing that if I want to achieve something positive, if I want to reach a goal, then I have to be disciplined about that. What is discipline? It's repeating certain things even though maybe I don't really want to. It's showing up. It's being there. It's putting in the work. And like I said before, it may not be the feeling or even the thought you had, but you need to be able to achieve a goal, to be able to make a positive change. It's really important that we have that discipline. That we're heading in this direction no matter what. There's a consistency of effort. That's the key thing. And from my experience too, what I know is that it's not so much what we do now and again that matters. It's what we do every day that matters. So it's that direction that we're heading in that matters more than the now and again. Adaptivity would be the sixth cornerstone. So the ability to adapt to change. That's a tough one, isn't it, sometimes? Because whether we like it or not, we are creatures of habit. As we learn and adapt to life, what we find is that whether we like it or not, we like our habits. We like regularity. We like familiarity. And there's a safety in that. So being able to move outside our comfort zone, to be able to adapt to new situations, insofar as adopting a whole food, plant-based lifestyle, what that means is that we are able to move off in a new direction, that we are able to take what was once familiar and change that. That's the ability to adapt, have that flexibility. Number 7, I think this is critical. It's called visualization. Now, Visualization, we've all have that ability to visualize, and we all do visualize even though we may not recognize it. If we know, for example, that we need to go somewhere to meet someone, we need to go somewhere and undertake a certain task, or that we have a meeting to attend, or a social occasion to attend, or whatever it may be, we base the way that's going to be on previous experiences. So we have a memory bank, and if that was a positive experience, our tendency will be that this will be a positive experience moving forward. If it's an area of newness to us, so it's an area we're moving in that we haven't moved into before, then it may very well be that depending on what our resilience or our perseverance or our self-confidence or our growth mindset or the ability to be disciplined, the ability to adapt, how we are in those areas may very well have an effect on the picture we have in our mind, and how stressful or not stressful our perception of what's going to happen and how this journey is going to be will play out. But visualization is, again, it's something that we can change. We all have the ability to create a picture in our mind, to be able to add and attach feelings to that. So why not create a picture of positivity in our minds? Why not create positive feelings to that? Why not create a positive soundtrack, the self-talk? We can change those. We can change them, that self-talk and the picture we have, if it's one of negativity or stress, or that this never works out, we can change that to a positive outcome. We can change the thinking, we can change the picture, we can change the emotion. By changing those core aspects, what happens is that we create the picture, that strong positive visualization of success in our minds, and we feel that success, even smell that success and taste that success. And if we create a picture in our mind that this is real, this event that hasn't happened yet, this area we're moving into is something that has already happened, then what tends to happen is that's what materializes around us. How often have we thought that this was going to be a stressful, negative event? Almost what we do when we walk into that sort of situation is that we almost create that. That's our thinking, that's our feeling, and so what can happen is that will be our action. Someone may say something that is quite innocent. Because we have that negative mindset, we see someone being sarcastic or attacking us, and we react that way, and that has a cascade effect. So that's all to do with that internal talk, the way we feel and the way we think and the way we see the world. And then, of course, the world will respond in like. Visualization, having that I can see, taste, experience, smell, and feel the positive change of who I'm going to be. The last cornerstone, the 8th cornerstone. It's so very, very important and so very simple and often overlooked. It's having the attitude of gratitude. It's waking up each morning and just being grateful to breathe in and breathe out, being grateful for the life that you've got. And we can all look at our life even on the darkest day and find aspects that we are grateful for. It's really important to do that. Sometimes it's the light in the darkness, isn't it? That wee light in the darkness, the aspects of our life that we can be grateful for. I have a huge amount to be grateful for, even on my darkest day, and I have dark days at times. I have times, like we all do, where life gets very, very bumpy. That might not be that I'm feeling the gratitude. Might not be that I'm feeling positive. It might not be that I'm feeling resilience, or I have the self-confidence on that time, that moment. But if I'm able to identify aspects of my life that I'm grateful for, it is able to feed those aspects or those cornerstones. So that's me today. I've spoken for a wee while. I hope that this has been beneficial for you, and I wish you all the very best. If you like this vlog, please like and subscribe. I want to get this positive message out there. I want to be able to encourage people to make positive changes in their life, to empower themselves, to take control of their life and not feel like they're a victim to events and to life. So that's me. Have a really good day, and we'll catch you again soon.